Hi, I'm Dr. Guantua. There comes a time in the lives of children when they look around and start to see changes in their own bodies and the bodies of their friends, and they wonder what is happening. Parents can feel nervous when talking with their children about these physical and emotional changes, and often try to avoid the conversation. This lack of information and incorrect information from bad sources may result in the children having needless concerns about these natural changes. Let us talk about the changes involved in becoming an adult and give children factual, straightforward answers to the questions they all have. Knowledge of the facts about puberty and reproduction will reduce their worries, and this knowledge has been shown to have other positive effects, such as reducing the risk of pregnancy and sexually transmitted diseases in young people. Children need to know what to expect with puberty, the time when a body changes from that of a child to an adult. It is helpful for a young person to understand these natural changes in their emotions and bodies, not only in themselves, but in the young people around them. Part of becoming an adult is learning to be respectful of the experiences and challenges of other people, both male and female. Let's hear some questions that young people are asking and provide them with some good answers.
What is puberty?
Every girl and boy goes through puberty. Puberty is the name for when the body changes and develops from a child into an adult. This change may start early or start late, and it might happen slowly or quickly. It varies from person to person. It takes years to go through puberty, and each boy or girl is different. These differences in when the changes start and stop are all normal.
What changes in our bodies with puberty?
Many of the changes in the body are the same for both girls and boys. Girls and boys will both notice that their bodies will become taller, fuller, and even their feet will get bigger. Girls and boys will have several years when their bodies grow taller quickly. This can be over 5 centimeters per year for girls and up to 7 centimeters per year for boys. Girls usually start puberty before boys, so there will be a time where these girls are taller than the boys. The boys will catch up and usually get taller than the girls when the boys start to grow. Sometimes kids in puberty are growing so fast they get pains in their legs and arms. This is because the bones are growing faster than the muscles, and the muscles stretch and ache. We call these pains growing pains. Activity and exercise help these pains if they occur. Extra nutrients are needed for growth of the body and development of the brain that occur during puberty. Young people should make sure they eat plenty of meat, nuts, fish, and insects to supply their body with protein and get the vitamins they need by eating leafy greens, vegetables, and fruits.
When will I start puberty?
Girls usually start puberty between the ages of 8 to 13. Some are earlier, some are later. Boys start a little later, anywhere between 9 and 15. Boys may continue to grow until they are 18 or even later. Once puberty is done, girls and boys will not grow any taller.
When does puberty end?
The changes of puberty usually takes about 4 years to occur, but the time varies a lot. Some people are done with puberty by 17, and others may be over 20 before all the changes have occurred. The things to remember is that each person is different, and their body will go through puberty at a pace that works for them.
Why do some older kids smell bad?
We all have sweat glands that make sweat when we get warm. But during puberty, special sweat glands develop that were not there before. These special glands produce a different type of sweat that can interact with microbes to make the sweat smell. The best way to improve the smell is to wash or shower frequently with soap and water. especially washing well under the arms. A product called a deodorant can be rubbed under the arms to also prevent the smell.
I'm getting pimples now. Is that part of puberty?
Puberty causes the skin to make more oil, so the skin may feel oilier to the touch. Washing with soap can help this. The increased oil in the skin can cause pimples or acne, particularly on the face and neck. Acne is the word for when small areas of the skin become red, sore, and sometimes have a small amount of white drainage. This is a common challenge that kids have with puberty. The good news is it goes away when puberty is over.
What about hair?
Hair will grow under the arms and around the genitals. The genitals are the external sex organs of the men and women. This area is also called the pubic area. Later in puberty, hair will grow on the legs of girls and boys and on the face, chest, or even the back of men as they get older. This varies a lot from person to person.
What is the reason we go through puberty?
The changes of puberty are to prepare the body for reproduction, which means getting the body ready to make babies. However, there is a big difference between having a body ready for reproduction and that person being emotionally ready to have a child. Raising a child is a great emotional and financial responsibility and requires a stable life situation so the child has the best opportunity in life. A baby is a big responsibility.
What actually happens with puberty?
With puberty, boys are physically growing up to be men and girls physically grow to become women. However, emotional growth continues long after puberty ends. Puberty starts with chemical messengers that are made in the brain. The chemical messengers go through the body and act on the ovaries in girls and the testicles in boys. The two ovaries are in the lower abdomen of girls and are where the eggs are located. The testicles in boys are in the sac of skin below the penis. Sperm start to develop in the testicles during puberty. When sperm and eggs come together in a woman's body, a baby can be made. When the chemical messengers are released from the brain during puberty, the ovaries or testicles produce more chemical messengers in response. In girls, the ovaries produce a chemical messenger called estrogen. In boys, the chemical messenger made by the testicles is called testosterone. The chemical messengers called estrogen and testosterone are also called hormones. These hormones cause all the changes in puberty that we have already talked about. They also cause other changes in boys and girls. Estrogen and testosterone are completely different hormones, so they cause boys and girls to develop differently in many ways.
I've seen many changes in the bodies of my friends. Their voices are changing and they're growing fast.
In boys, testosterone causes the voice box to grow and the voice becomes deeper. For a while, boys' voice may be high one moment and then low the next. But later in puberty, it settles to a deeper tone. Testosterone causes boys to become more muscular as they grow. It also causes the penis and testicles to grow. The growth of the penis and testicles begins after hair starts growing around them. The testosterone stimulates the testicles to make the sperm. Sperm have the genetic information in them to make a baby. So a boy in puberty can make a girl pregnant if they have sexual intercourse. We will talk more about sexual intercourse a little later.
There's some things happening to me that I don't want to talk about.
Two very common worries of boys during puberty are erections and wet dreams. An erection is when the penis fills with blood, making it harder and larger. During puberty, an erection can happen for no reason and can make a boy feel self-conscious. Erections are common in boys going through puberty, and they may have nothing to do with sexual thoughts. Wet dreams are when white liquid called semen spurts from the penis while a boy is sleeping. The semen contains sperm, and the spurting is called an ejaculation. The semen from an ejaculation is not urine or pee. Ejaculations are normal and very common while sleeping during puberty. They are a sign that the body is growing up and the body is preparing for manhood. Boys are not in control of wet dreams and they should not feel bad about them. Another common concern of boys during puberty is that they may develop swellings in their breast area during puberty. These breast swellings happen in more than half of the boys and they are normal. The swelling later goes away.
What changes do girls go through during puberty?
The first sign of puberty in girls is usually the beginning of breast development. When breasts first appear, they can be very tender. It is almost common for one breast to start developing before the other breast. Girls should not worry about this at all because it is normal. Later, the breasts will become more even. As breasts enlarge, red, irritated lines sometimes occur in the skin. These are called stretch marks, and they can occur if the breast enlarges rapidly and stretches the breast skin. The red color will fade in time and the marks will improve. When the genital or pubic hair appears, girls will also notice that the shape of their bodies is changing. Their hips will become fuller and their waist will become smaller. The menstrual cycle will usually start about 2 months after the breast develop, and it is possible for girls to become pregnant starting at this time.
What is the menstrual cycle?
To understand the menstrual cycle, we need to talk a little more about the woman's reproductive system. The 2 ovaries inside the lower abdomen are where the eggs are made. The uterus is the structure where a fertilized eggs grow to become a baby. The fallopian tubes connect the ovaries to the uterus on each side. And the vagina is where the baby passes from the woman's body when it is born. The vagina is also where the penis is inserted during sexual intercourse to make a woman pregnant. Sexual intercourse is also called sex. When the penis is inserted in the vagina and ejaculation occurs, some of the sperm in the semen can join with the egg, if the egg is in the fallopian tube or uterus. When the egg and sperm join, it is called fertilization. The fertilized egg then needs to attach to the walls of the uterus and get nutrition from the walls so it can grow and become a baby. Every month, an egg is released from one of the ovaries. That ovary also sends a hormone to the uterus to tell it to get ready for the egg in case it is fertilized and needs to attach to the uterus. The uterus then grows a thick bed of tissue and blood vessels that can give the egg the nutrients it needs to grow if it is fertilized. However, if the egg is not fertilized with sperm, it passes through the uterus and out of the body through the vagina. In this situation, the rich lining in the uterus is no longer needed, so the body sheds the lining of the uterus along with blood out of the vagina. This process is called the menstrual cycle because it occurs on a cycle of about every 28 days. The shedding of tissue and blood out of the vagina is called the menstrual flow. People often call the menstrual flow the menstrual period, or just period for short, because there's a period of about 3 to 7 days where blood and tissue come out of the vagina.
When will I get my first period?
There is no way to predict when girls will have their first menstrual cycle. Girls may notice clear or white drainage from their vagina for up to a year before their first period. This is normal and can indicate their period is about to start. It is important to know that girls can become pregnant with sexual intercourse when they start their periods or menstrual cycles. Even having sex just one time can cause a pregnancy, and it can also cause serious sexually transmitted diseases. But remember that being physically able to have a baby is not the same as emotionally ready for one. Speaking of emotions, boys and girls going through puberty are very full of emotions. They may be angry or irritated, upset or happy, and these emotions can change from moment to moment. Boys and girls may also feel strong sexual attraction toward other people and may have more sexual thoughts during puberty, even though they are not emotionally ready for a sexual relationship. These feelings are all normal and are due to hormones we talked about called testosterone and estrogen. Hormones have powerful effects on the emotions during puberty, but over time, the intensity of the feelings and emotions will get better. Some effective ways to take care of our bodies during puberty are to eat nutritious food, get plenty of sleep, and keep active. So you can see that puberty is a time of life when our bodies and emotions go through many changes. Knowledge about what causes puberty and what changes to expect will help you better understand what is happening with less worry as you grow into adult women and men.